Do you remember the Tesla Model X? It was the big 3-row SUV, the flagship, with the big falcon wing doors. Well, it was cool, but the Model X has left the chat. It's been canceled, discontinued. Well, that left a hole in the Tesla lineup for a family-sized SUV, and that's where this comes into play. This is a brand new Tesla Model Y L, and it's a pretty compelling family offering. It's not a brand new model per se, because the Model Y L actually came out in China almost a year ago, in Australia more recently. And the Model Y itself has been around for over 6 years, and it's the best-selling electric car on the planet. So the DNA, you could say, is rock solid, and a lot of things are going to be quite familiar, but a lot of refinements have been made. And a new, actually usable third row joins the features list. More on that later. So this thing is actually a lot cheaper than the old Model X, and beats the Model X in a lot of ways on paper, believe it or not. So why don't we get into it? From the front or the back, really minimal differences, aside from this now integrated spoiler that is part of the Model Y L DNA. You have the new integrated third brake light in that spoiler. It's no longer up top, which may help with visibility later, we'll see. You have the nice Tesla Model Y light bar that's not exclusive to this, but it just looks so cool, I like to point it out. This badge is also new. This is the Launch Series badge, but no, the L does not stand for launch. Tesla isn't the first one to use an L at the end of a model name. You know, the Audi A8L, the Jeep Wagoneer L, the Lincoln Navigator L. There's a lot of L's out there. And L, in this case, stands for long, or maybe even limo. And it does kind of feel like the limo version of a Model Y. I mean, it looks very familiar, very similar, but sharp-eyed viewers will note that this rear window is quite a bit longer, and the car itself is about 7 inches longer than the normal Model Y, and 6 inches of that is in the wheelbase, which should make driving pretty interesting. And stepping back, like, it's pretty attractive and sleek, but also kind of ugly. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. But this slippery, bulbous shape should help a lot with range, and it's actually very sleek. The drag coefficient is 0.216. If you don't know what that means, that's fine. It just means it's really efficient. This is finished in their diamond black paint. It's very nice and flaky and metallic and shiny. There's also a new cosmic silver, which I think is pretty nice. It's warm and metallic, and Tesla described it as technological precision meets warmth. What do you guys think? Do you think we have too many shades of gray? No? Just me? Okay, 50 Shades of Gray it is. Let's talk wheels really quick. This is the new 20-inch Uber Helix wheel. There's also a 19-inch wheel if you want a little bit more range, only 5 miles difference, but that extra sidewall should give you a little bit more road comfort. And for the first time in Model Y, they are staggered, meaning the rear wheels are actually a little bit wider than the front ones, which is to help take the extra weight of the car and whatever's inside. Getting inside, that's something we got to talk about, right? These are the door handles that a lot of people know how to use and a lot of people don't know how to use, but I'm going to give you a quick tutorial. There is a big part and the long skinny part. You put your thumb on the big part and it presents the long skinny part. You open it and then you let go really quick because it's black and it's really hot outside. It's a nice, solid, but soft door thunk, and now we are met with the familiar interior of the Tesla Model Y, with a few distinct changes. One of which is this new interior. This is a Zen gray color, as they call it. It's a little warmer than the other, white or black interiors. It even has a matching center console, which is unique because the black or white interiors all give you just black center console. Kind of different. The center console closing is even softer. I don't know why they did that, but cool. The seats are also new. They now have an adjustable thigh extension, which may help depending on your height. And there's now adjustable headrests. They are manual, but they go up and down, which really helps with a lot of people who didn't love the static placement of previous Tesla headrests. Tesla. People are really opinionated about how you pronounce the brand. How do you pronounce the brand? I'm curious. The screen is 16 inches and it's just in the middle. There's no driver display, which I kind of wish it had. The new Rivian R2 has a driver display and it's fantastic. But this screen is also fantastic. It's very bright and it has everything you need. There is no Apple CarPlay, there's no Android Auto, and hot take, that's perfect. This has a really good mapping system that navigates to all your destinations and puts charging stops in. You have Apple Music, Spotify, podcasts. You have a theater mode, which lets you watch Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, TikTok, even.
What is up, guys?
In case you want to throw some forest on there or something. The screen itself is very fluid, very responsive, very easy to use. And in fact, Tesla just gave me access to the car, which means when I got in, it had all of my settings and my apps and my accounts signed in already from my Tesla back home. It's really cool and fluid how that operates. A common complaint with Teslas is that they don't have manual climate vents anywhere. In fact, you can't even tell where the vents are, but they are up here behind the dash, and you adjust them through the screen. Yes, it's not as convenient as adjusting through manual vents, but it saves to your profile. And so if you have multiple people driving the car at home or the office or whatever, and they have different preferences, you can just jump between them and it sets it to your liking. You even have pet mode or camp mode, climate keep mode. It's really great for those hot days like today when you just want to leave the climate on all day. And you have a little wireless phone charger down here, which unfortunately is not ventilated like it is in China. I don't know why they didn't bring that over. Unlike the phone charger, the front seats are heated and ventilated, and the back seats are heated and ventilated. Ventilated back seats is not that common, especially in this price point. Fun fact, the heated seats can reach 104 degrees in only 2 minutes, even if it's 5 degrees outside. That's a lot of numbers to tell you that these get hot fast. Oh, and they're captain's chairs with cool armrests that are powered and slow. There's no bench seat option though, which may be a disappointment to some folks, but that's so that you can climb through them to get to the back row. There's a familiar 8-inch screen in the back, great for adjusting climate, but it's an ergonomic nightmare for watching content, unless your kids are short enough, I guess. There are dedicated air vents in the pillar for second and third row, and the second row has a bit more headroom now, hence that extra height. Legroom is slightly less as standard, but it's adjustable, so you can steal it from the third row folks. Before I jump to the back, I want to show you the smart folding seats. Moving this seat up automatically moves that seat up because the car knows how much space it actually needs. Smart seats are brilliant. I don't know why more car companies haven't jumped into that. But now I should show you the back. Ugh. For reference, I am 6 feet tall, 5'11" and a half, I guess, on a bad day. And I'm surprised. I can actually lean all the way back. And I'm also sitting kind of behind myself with plenty of room. So I could actually move those up just a bit. But I have my vents back here. I have plenty of headroom because of the glass roof. Plenty, there's an asterisk there. Plenty meaning I technically fit. But I don't know if I would fit if I was much taller. Now, if only I knew someone taller.
What? Is this a mic? Hello? I didn't agree to this, okay? I'm the cameraman, but since I'm back here, for reference, I'm 6'4", and sitting behind someone that is 6 feet tall, let's say the magician Jordan, yeah, it's not too much room for taller adults. If I lean my head all the way back, sure, I got some good headroom. My head doesn't graze the glass, but legroom, if Jordan was generous and scoot his seat up, he might be backing into the back of the front seats. But in a pinch, tall people can do this. But I will say, if I get upset or bored back here, at least there are USB ports located down here. And as he mentioned, there are air conditioning vents that will keep me nice and cool. And you can recline the seats, or you can fold them up with buttons right here. If I was a little bit smaller, yeah, this would be a little bit more doable. And if it was stadium style seating, yeah, that would be great. But for tall people, watch out for the Tesla YL's third row. All right, I'm done.
Dude, I think every set needs a water fountain. This is amazing. Let's open the standard power liftgate and see what the L gives us back here. I will say, this is a little bit of a sharp corner, but it's fairly high up, so probably out of everyone's way. Yeah, looking forward, I can see how this is a lot more space, a lot bigger than the normal Model Y. It does remind me of the Tesla Model X, which is probably intentional. You have about 14, 15 cubic feet back here behind the third row when it's up. You have this sub-trunk flap that actually, boom, magnetizes to the third row, letting you keep it upright, letting you fill the entire trunk and sub-trunk with suitcases. It's actually pretty impressively usable space. Now, real party trick, like I mentioned, is power folding seats. With the third row folded, you now have 38 cubic feet. And then you fold the power folding smart second row. With all the rows folded, you have a whopping 85 cubic feet behind the first row, which is a huge amount of storage space. Add in the front trunk and you're up to that magical 89 cubic feet. As a car camping enthusiast myself, I of course have to test that ability, and there's plenty of space. But I will say, a second row bench seat would have made this way better, because otherwise you can just kind of fall in and then you're like stuck, and you wouldn't want that to happen in the middle of the night. So fortunately, Tesla does sell a car camping mattress. I'd recommend that if you're pretty serious. Wait! Mike, there's something they forgot. They didn't leave a button for you to open the trunk if you're stuck back there, because your siblings are, you know, ganging up on you and they throw you in the back and close the trunk. Yeah, there's no button on the inside to open the trunk. Big miss. World's tiniest island. Well, we should probably drive, because that's what you do when you have a car full of kids. Well, I don't have kids at the moment, but you know, taking them to school, running errands, there's a lot of things that are important about driving your Model Y L, and that's what I'm here to evaluate. By the way, this gear selector, my least favorite thing, perhaps, about this whole car. The like swiping on the screen. Now, as you saw back there, it automatically detects and adjusts. You know, if you're backing out of a spot, it'll correct into drive when you want to go forwards. That's usually pretty good, but it doesn't always know what you want. So yeah, I wish they had kept that stock. The turn signal stock, I could go either way. Hot take. I actually am used to the buttons on my steering wheel with my Model 3 back home, so yeah, in my opinion, they put the wrong stock back in. But driving the Model Y L, that's something where they've differentiated it a bit more from the normal Model Y. And one of those is power. 496 horsepower. That's pretty serious. I don't know why they didn't just juice a little bit more to 500, because that would have been like a little mic drop moment. Like, oh yeah, my family 3-row SUV has 500 horsepower. Isn't that something you want people to say? I don't know. A lot of people don't care about power. But if you do, 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, which is actually a hair quicker than the all-wheel drive Model Y, the shorter one, because this motor's juiced a little bit. The battery is also juiced, well, just a little bit bigger, 83 kilowatt hours, roughly speaking, which is a little bit bigger than the original Model Y, like I said, and that gives you about 325 miles of range, estimated. They haven't actually fully tested it as of the point of this filming, but that's pretty good. That's plenty of range for most people, all your daily driving, and road trips are really quite a breeze. If you stop at a charger, you know, Tesla supercharger or something else, but honestly, Tesla superchargers are traditionally the best and easiest to use. That's like 30 minutes, 10 to 80%. Not class leading, of course, but pretty decent, pretty solid. That's what pretty much all Teslas have done for the last, I don't know, 10 years. And comfort is a really important factor for these SUVs, arguably more than the power. The Model Y L has adaptive suspension, at least in this trim. Future trims may not, but in the launch edition and hopefully other ones, it's adaptive, meaning it reacts to the road. If I'm going on a pretty bumpy road, which this is, it's actually pretty good at reacting to the bumps and adjusting in real time to give you a much more comfortable ride. And what's really cool is you can actually go into the screen here and go to rear comfort, which actually optimizes the suspension in the rear to give it a much more smooth ride. It's almost like limo mode. If you're buying this as an Uber driver, you're probably gonna leave it in rear comfort, at least if you care about that 5-star review. And if you care about your kids, maybe you want a 5-star review from your kids. That's not a thing. But if you're just daily driving to work, or in my case, driving through Hollywood, I'm gonna leave it in balanced. The adaptive suspension is a huge differentiator between this and the normal Model Y, because that one features frequency response dampening, which is still pretty good. It still reacts a little bit to the road, but it's not like actually adaptive and electronically actuated. So the adaptive suspension is what gives it the really comfortable feel. Anytime I see that in a car, that's like a green flag for me. But another important part of this ride comfort is the NVH, or noise, vibration, and harshness. There's improvements across the board compared to the standard Model Y. Something like 20% improve this, improve that. Basically, it's more isolating from the outside environment, which is good if you're in a busy traffic area like this, but then maybe that means you can hear your kids better, which may be good or bad depending on how you feel about that. See, a little 3-point turn like this is obnoxious when you don't have a gear selector. Oh, and turning radius, a little bit worse than the other Model Y as well, which makes sense, it's longer. So we've got adaptive suspension, we've got the NVH improvements. Yet another aspect of the comfort is from, believe it or not, the roof glass, which usually means it lets in a ton of light and heat and it's annoying. Well, the light part is good, but the heat is annoying, especially on a really hot day like today. But I have the HVAC on its lowest fan setting, still in automatic, and it's staying fairly low because the glass itself is super insulated. It's got triple silver lining, which reflects like 95% of UV or something like that. It's really effective at blocking out the sun, heat, radiation. Honestly, I've never needed a shade in a Model Y that I've driven. So props to Tesla for doing well with that. That being said, not everyone's cup of tea is a glass roof, and that's the only way this comes. So you could probably find a shade on the aftermarket if you needed that. The sound system is also really good in this car, like exceptionally good. What they claim to be the best possible bass that they've had in a Tesla, I guess. And I enjoy bass. It's 19 speakers, including the subwoofer. You have a full 5-band EQ, subwoofer controls, and 4 ceiling speakers, which give you some nice immersive sound if that's your cup of tea. There's even a dedicated rear center channel, which is not common in cars. So Tesla advertises that you get the same high quality level of audio in every seat. And I've tested that, and I'd say it's really, really good. Now, if we're talking competitors, Bowers & Wilkins and Volvo, I mean, that's a league of its own, but this is still really up there with some of the best. And like I said earlier, now that I'm driving, I really wish there was a driver display. Like, this display is great. It has everything I need in this upper left corner as like kind of a driver display, but I'd rather it just be right in front of my face, either as a heads-up display or a driver display. You know, I kind of wish I had that. But here's what's arguably, in my opinion, the best and most unique part of this car that does truly separate it from the competition. All the competition has a lot of great ride comfort, even better than this, and more effective climate control, and maybe the same or better sound system. But the one thing this car has that no one else currently does in our market is full self-driving. Full self-driving is arguably the best system on sale in America, at least to the public, for your car that you can own. And it's doing, you know, really twisty, windy roads like this. It handles traffic intersections, construction zones. It just handles everything, which lets me focus on talking about the car. Now, even though it's really good, it's also fairly expensive. $100, $99 a month is the subscription. Now, all Teslas can do this, even the very cheapest base model ones, which is great. And I think it's a really impressive system. It's honestly a pretty good safety blanket as well. It's arguably more safe than many human drivers. There's kind of a caveat to that, because obviously human drivers can be very safe, but there's so many accidents that happen with distracted drivers, and this system is paying attention through exterior cameras at all times across all directions. So it's really good at detecting all sorts of scenarios: people running out into the road in front of you, pets running out into the road, a car that's careening through a red light when you're about to cross it so you don't get T-boned. These are all things the system is watching for. So I'd say and argue that it's a pretty good safety blanket as well. But the truth of the matter is, I do 99% of my driving without driving, just let this system do its thing. So I've done 25,000 miles, I guess you could say, on full self-driving. But even though FSD is incredible, still pay attention. Do not be one of those people that trust it with your life, because it's still being developed and tested, and safety first, right? So whether you're driving or being driven, this is really a fantastic car to sit in. The NVH improvements were already amazing for the new generation Model Y that we filmed last year. And now the Model Y L takes it a step further. Maximum comfort, maximum sound system performance, and a really impressive driver assistance suite, as long as you fork over the $99 a month. So now I'm just gonna sit on full self-driving and think about my final thoughts. So what happens when you take a very successful car and just make it longer? Well, this is America, where people seem to love bigger cars, so I anticipate it might sell quite well. At least the Tesla showrooms I've talked to have said they've taken a lot of pre-orders. And, well, the big important thing is price. What is that price? $63,630 with destination fee, of course, and that's no small amount of money. But this is, again, the launch edition with the special badges and the puddle lights, a year of full self-driving, a year of premium connectivity, a year of free supercharging. That's a lot of things thrown into the price. But as per usual, we expect more cheaper entry-level models to trickle out to bring the price to more families. Oh, and it comes with floor mats, which I only mentioned because my Model 3 didn't come with floor mats, so don't take these for granted, folks. But is it worth it? Let's talk about competition. Kia EV9, Hyundai Ioniq 9, those are obvious three-row competitors with actually surprisingly competitive specs with prices that extend below and above this. You also have the Cadillac Vistic, Lucid Gravity, Cadillac Escalade IQ, Rivian R1S. Those are all bigger and also more expensive. So this kind of in a weird way sits in a place of its own. But this thing is comfortable, it has loads of tech, loads of capability, not off-road capability. I don't know if I would really take this thing off-road. Loads of on-road capability, and it's got great space for families, and it's, most importantly, a cheaper alternative to that Tesla Model X. So let me know what you think, but I don't think this Model Y is so much of an L. I think it's more of a W. You know, like a win. I really like Mike Danger. This probably won't make it in the video because he's too shy, as opposed to an L, which is like a loss. Man, I'm not getting a bonus this year. I don't know, I can't keep up with the lingo.